Hey everybody, welcome to Open the Gates. I'm your host Matt Burke, and tonight we're going to be having on Donald DeLay. He's going to be talking about his Kaiju versus Luchador book, Jaeger Bomb. So get your Jaeger Bombs ready and start dropping them. If you guys give a warm welcome to Donald, that would be excellent. What's up, Donald? How you doing, bro?
What's happening, man? It's been a hot minute since I've been on.
I know, man. Just been working on comics and YouTube and a lot more.
Right on.
Well, what about you, man? What you been up to?
Same, well, except for the YouTube part, but I've just been working on comics.
Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, man. I was just thinking about the Jaeger bomb. I was gonna pick up some Jaeger and get some for the show, but yeah, didn't work out. I was just like, oh man. I ended up getting some Sailor Jerry's rum, and I got this new Ghost energy drink. I don't know, Sour Patch candy flavored. It's pretty crazy though. Kind of get you going a little bit, you know.
Does it actually taste sour?
Not really, dude. It tastes kind of funky, to be honest. It doesn't taste sour at all. I was surprised. Yeah, I was hoping for it though, man. I really like that candy. It tastes delicious. If you guys can check out Jaeger Bomb, it's in the description. Like it's also pinned at the top too. So, yeah, trying to get this to scroll across the bottom, but it's acting like a little bee's notch right now. Yeah, man. So you've been working on this book. You've been doing a lot of books lately, man. Like you've been very prolific as always. We got Christopher John. What's up, brother? I haven't seen you in a long time.
What's up, Christopher?
I remember him.
It's been a while, man.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in like many a long time. He's another killer artist out there. He got his own style.
Oh yeah,
very visionary, just like you and Joe Ball, Jason Bascom. A lot of you guys got your own style, man. I freaking love it.
Got to stand out, you know.
Yeah, you do, and it's hard too, like to kind of get there. It has to come organically. It's not something you kind of force yourself into.
Yeah, you can't go looking for it. You got to find it. It's got to find you,
right? And I'm on Twitter, man. You've been busting out like a lot of different like homework stuff that you comics that you're reading and stuff like that. Do you go to the LCS a lot, or where do you pick your comics up online a lot, or do you? I mean, where do you get your books at mostly?
Mostly online. There's not really a comic shop around me.
Oh, really?
Closest one is probably an hour away.
Oh,
so
okay.
I usually get my books off of Amazon.
Yeah, that's cool.
But, I got a lot of books. I like to study other artists and try to pick up little techniques here and there.
Oh, totally, man. I saw that you posted up. You post a lot of cool stuff too that I'm always trying to check out. But a lot of times, dude, I have the book too, and they're like artists that I've been digging on, like a lot. Like a lot of them, like the Rumble, James Herron. That was another big artist. I really liked the Rumble book when it came out. I remember when it was pitched, it was like a David Fincher story with something else. I was like, oh yeah, this kind of have like that Fincher kind of lighting a little bit, like from kind of sort of. But that book, man, was just popping when he did the first. I think he did like the first 30 issues or something like that.
Of Rumble?
Yeah.
I think it was like 15 or so. I know there's 3 volumes of the trade out.
Yeah, and I think David Rubin from Beowulf did that one. His Beowulf was pretty cool, but the art just wasn't the same after Herron left, you know.
Yeah, I didn't pick it up after Herron left. It wasn't striking me, you know.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know. Rubin's got a weird. I don't know. I mean, I like the weird style. Don't get me wrong, but it just wasn't. I don't know, man. I really just missed it, you know. And then another one that was a big influence on me too, when I was really like setting up Butch CLEAVER a lot, like years ago, was Luther Strode, the trilogy of Luther Strode. Trad Moore, man. That book, I think a lot of people like, and I say like, that's my favorite like trilogy of like indie books was the Luther Strode trilogy, man. I could go back and look at that fool's panels, dude, and it gives me fucking ideas. You know what I mean? Just the way he does the artwork and whatnot. I think you were referencing kind of like how he was doing the blood spin, like when he's chopping some dude. head like in school.
Yeah, he's got a lot of crazy techniques that he does in Luther Strode that not too many people picked up because you really can't. It's
fast.
It's really a trad-ism sort of thing, you know.
Yeah.
If you try to do it, people would know that you're just cribbing from trad. But that's Luther Strode is probably my all-time favorite book.
No shit. Yeah, I could see why, man. Like I have the 3. I actually want to go and get it, and it's like each book is its own like fucking universe in a weird way, right? Because it's at different points of his career, but not really, or not his career, but the story arc. In the first one, you have the, Peter Parker, the young like kick-ass kind of version of him. Then you go into the Michael Myers, like Jason Voorhees, like kind of type thing. You know what I mean? I'm not really, but kind of like vibing. That's how I got with the little bit of the biker shit. And he's also, facing off against Jack the Ripper. So I like the second book a lot. And then the third one, it just goes into this crazy like martial artist, super fucking swole. Like, he's, I don't know, man. Like he just puts you could see a lot of the different styles that he's into, like Mobius and some of manga as well. But I can totally go back and keep rereading that book. Like and it's all the stuff with Kane, and just the whole concept of it. It's hilarious, the hilarity of it. And I don't know. I need to review those books. I've been going to the LCS lately. I stopped going because they were putting out a lot of trash in the mainstream, and there really wasn't anything for me to pick up like the past few years, man. And now they got Conan coming out. I'm digging the new Conan books. And I'm picking up The Goon. The Goon is one book that I always, what up, Ollie? The Goon is just like one book that I always kept collecting. I loved, Eric Powell's work, but I don't really follow him on social media because he kind of, I follow him on social media, but he gets a little, I don't agree with him politically. And it's just like, take that shit out of there. I want to talk about comics more,
Right.
You got to be a little political, but fucking do some comics, bro. But yeah, man.
I don't have to go so hard in one direction. Just get your opinion there and just step off.
Yeah, dude. Just do a little bit. You know what I mean? Hell yeah, Jaeger Bomb. We talked about this a little bit. Oh, thanks, brother. You can go check out Butch Cleaver too if you guys want. Hey, how you doing there? I think last time we talked about Jaeger Bomb a little bit, but we didn't touch on it too much. And this was this was like maybe 6 months ago or something like that, maybe longer. I think we were talking about El Santo. I believe you said you watched some of his films.
Of who?
El Santo. Or I think I told you about him. He's basically his own genre. He's a Mexican wrestler that was an actor. So you would have like El Santo versus the Wolfman versus Dracula, and he just has all these fucking movies, dude, where he'll be fighting the guys and he'll start busting out into like a dance number and start dancing, But I think you would fucking love it, dude. Like I think it would actually give you a lot of inspiration, and I don't know. Are you into like the luchador stuff at all?
I am a little bit. I was into Lucha Underground a lot. Unfortunately, it got canceled.
Yeah.
And those guys went off to do other things like Jaguar Prince. He's now Ricochet in WWE. So I don't think it's coming back at all. But yeah, I like luchador.
Yeah, it's cool. My my wife, she's Mexican, and we were gonna. I went down there about 2 years ago now, and my brother-in-law's brother was telling me about taking me to a match down in like Guadalajara and getting to see the whole thing. I was really like, damn, like pumped up. I want to go and just check it out. You know what I mean? The whole like Mexican or the whole let's just say the wrestling genre in comic books now. It's like it's its own subgenre now, man. I guess it has always been, but I'm really digging on it, man. What about you? What are your thoughts about it now that you brought one of your books into it?
I haven't seen much. It's just a couple. Just like do a power bomb, and you got the. Is it okay to curse here?
Yeah, you do whatever you want here. There's no rules.
You got a book called The Motherfucking Fucker.
Huh?
That was about
that one.
Huh?
I haven't heard about that one.
That's crazy. That was by Max Fuchs.
Okay.
It looked pretty dope, but it was about a wrestler, luchador.
I gotta say, bro, like you and Adam Lawson, like if I want to like hit people up about fucking dope indie books, you guys are fucking, you guys can put fools on some shit. It's like you guys have your indie book game up. There is one that I know about, and it seems like a lot of movies are kind of like loosely based from it and taken from it in comics and stuff like that, and it's cool. And I have it, and yeah, man, I'm gonna do a review on it too. It's coming up pretty soon. But it's Rob Zombie's and Steve Niles, The Nail. Did you ever read that one?
No, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool. And he was gonna do a movie of it. It was it's about a wrestler, and he's an underground wrestler named Tyrannosaurus Rex. I think was gonna be the one in the movie, and then I think he's the Nail in the book. Bisley did all the covers, bro. So I want to go back and I was trying to find I always trying to find the 4 issues, right? Because I have the graphic novel, because Bisley does all the covers. But he's traveling across the country, and his family is with him, and they're getting stalked by these demonic bikers, and he has to take on a biker cult. So I'm just like, oh, dude, that's Mandy, bro. So like it kind of reminded me of Mandy. Have you seen Mandy with Nicolas Cage?
No.
Dude, you got to see Mandy. Hard recommend. One of the best movies of the last decade. So it's a revenge movie, very comic booky. But yeah, and the Nail, this wrestler, the Nail, he has to take on these demon bikers, man, and it's really cool. I really recommend it. And they don't really focus too much on the wrestling aspect, but it's definitely who he is, and that's how the book starts and ends, and his character persona changes throughout the book. So that's
cool.
one of
sounds badass. I'll
Do a
look it
Power
up.
Bomb. You've seen Do a Power Bomb, or you have that one already?
Yeah, Do a Power Bomb by Daniel Warren Johnson. Another one of my favorite books.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's got so much energy to it, man. You read that thing and you feel his love for wrestling and for comic books. It's just a fun book. You can tell that he's having a lot of fun drawing it.
Yeah, I know, and I know like Brian Christgau, he has a luchador book coming out too. Eventually, one day, not anytime soon, but it's gonna happen. Tequila Moonrise, and I got a book too coming out with a wrestler. I mean, I have one, but it's probably won't come out forever. But I do have one with the indie dude. It's just fun, dude. Like you could do a lot with it.
It lends itself well to action.
It's perfectly there. Like they already have the alter egos. They have the real person, and then they have the heel or the boot or the boot or the heel. Whoever the face, however you want to, whatever terminology you want to use, depending on what company you're talking about, because different companies have different terms. Baby face. Yeah. So you have that built into the story already, and you can just take it in a multitude of different angles. So it's fucking cool, man. I remember I was just really into wrestling back like during the network wars for mainstream wrestling, where it was like, Raw's war. Kane was always my favorite, Kane and Undertaker, and Stone Cold and The Rock were awesome. They were so awesome back then, dude. The hardcore matchups, Rob Van Dam, he opened a comic book store at my mall, which is like 5 minutes from here. He had Rob Van Dam's 5-star Splash comics, and this was like 20 years ago. So I don't know, man. I just feel like comics and wrestling were always, I don't know, they were simpatico. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good crossover. Like you said, comics. Like you said, there's a lot of drama in wrestling and the action. It's perfect for comics.
Perfect, man. Yeah. Oh, and then Brian has another book coming out. Another wrestling one, actually. Another one I forgot about. I want to check that out. Keep your eyes out for that one. Christopher John's got a question for you. Where do you draw inspiration from these days, Donald?
Mostly a lot of manga. I'm reading Gachia Kuda by Kei Urana. Some Akira Toriyama and Lost Souls. I can't remember who does the art on that. Obata, I think her name is.
Nice.
Not Lost Souls, Soul Eater.
Soul Eater.
Yeah.
I guess as long as it's not AI, right?
No. There is an AI manga book that's out, but I haven't read it.
There's an AI book out on TikTok. Some dude's slanging the fuck out of him, and it's he's a writer, and it's called Whisk, I think, and it's like $10, and he's like, it's an AI art. He's selling it like that, and it has his corrections, so he probably uses the program and it goes in there and tweaks it in Photoshop to like the finishes, but just like, damn, dude. Like a lot of people that are not in our bubble, they don't give a fuck. They'll buy it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Mhm.
It's weird. Like, I guess normies, how the fuck you want to say it? But
Yeah, normies don't really care, man. As long as they're getting a product, something that they can read or something and enjoy. They don't care if it's AI art or if it's a person behind it.
It's a big thing for us and artists and whatnot. But a lot of people just kind of want that entertainment, especially if they have like the disposable income or whatnot, and they don't really think about all that. Like imagine when you first started reading comics, did you give a fuck about the writer or the artist or anything? Like as a kid, like when you first started it, or just as a normie, I highly doubt it. So, but for me, I just was all about the pictures. Like for you growing up, were you drawn to the art and the story, or how did that work?
I was drawn to the art mostly because I started drawing when I was 6 years old. So I got into comics around 92-ish when the Image was forming. And then I started getting into the back issues of those guys. So the art was a big deal for me. So not so much the stories, because their stories kind of sucked.
Right. What about now?
Now it's a little bit of both because I'm trying to get into writing myself.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to pay attention more to writers.
Yeah. No, I mean I feel the same way, but at the like it's cool when you find a good writer that you like. You know what I mean? Like there's something you can depend on, and usually you'll have like a trust with that writer in the aspect of they're going to pick a good talent to draw their book that you're probably going to jive with, or there's going to be an angle to where they pick this person to draw it. But for me, like I'm like 90% like the art's got to be there. If the art's not there, I won't even read it. Like unless someone really like pushes me, or it's got to be a genre that I love. Like it's got to be a Viking book, And if for me personally, I think the art is dog shit, I'll still probably check it out. Or a barbarian book, if I personally think the art is dog shit, I'll probably read it because I like barbarian books. But if it's like a spy book or something like that, I'm not gonna read it. It's got to be like pretty brutal or something. I'm just into that shit. But yeah, dude, for me, totally, I'm just really into the art, and I think it's just because that's the medium, bro. It's just has to be, has to be that way for me.
Yeah, that's the same for me. It's probably got to be 100% the art, because if it's bad art, I don't know if I can get past it for a good story.
Yeah, you're like like turning the page and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that into writing yet.
Yeah, no, totally. And like, I really like, I don't know, man. I'm a real basic bitch when it comes to a lot of things. And I like similar stuff. I like just a good story. I like heroes. I like villains, I love action. I love horror. I love gore. I love martial arts, that's why I like Luther Strode a lot, because it's got all that shit in it. But yeah, man, as far as like Jaeger Bomb goes, man, where did you come up with the title for that? Obviously, we know what it is. We've dropped thousands of them, but where'd you come up with the title of it?
It came from Twitter. I can't remember the name of the person who actually suggested it, but I put out this idea, this concept in a tweet, and asked for some suggestions for names.
Yeah.
And everybody came back with a lot of cool stuff, but then someone just threw out Jaeger Bomb, and it really hit me, because the original concept was that this guy gets this down on his luck luchador, gets drunk, and he gets superpowers and has to fight kaiju.
Okay. And is that still what it is?
It's changed a little bit. He gets his powers from a drink, but it becomes permanent, because I realized I had to figure out a way to get him drunk every time he had to go fight somebody, and it's just like have him run into a bar, get
Damn,
drunk.
I love that. Oh man, can't wait to read
carry around a beer.
And yeah, man, like it's so crazy too, and it's just you see. Me and my buddy on the side quest, we used to do reverse Jaeger bombs, which would be like you get the shot of Red Bull, and then you fill the cup with Jaeger, and man, you get toe up quick. But yeah, man, like just the whole like iconography that you laid out there. You got this big old kaiju, and then you got swole that he may be, going up against this kaiju, man. Like what's he gonna do, And that I think just really sells the book. And the name Jaeger Bomb, it's like when I think about that, he just like that's what I imagine. Some dude just gets all Jaegered out, and he's gonna power bomb him, or just like suplex him out of the sky or off a building, or I don't know, something cool like that. You know what I mean? What up, Christgau? How you doing, brother? Let's see here.
What's up, Brian?
Fire! Can't wait to read my copy. Yeah.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah, and then Jim was saying too, if the art tells a story, that is great. I hate dialogue, laugh out loud, too much of it. Yeah, I mean, for me, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, even if it's like my favorite writer or something, you know, like Robert E. Howard or something. Even if I open a book and I see his word bubbles, it kind of irritates me a little bit. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm just like, fuck, I gotta read all that shit, dude. I hope it's like dope. Like, I hope it's like really like gonna be some entertaining like shit going on in that, you know, because if the drawing isn't, I don't know, the story better be cool. That whoever's like whatever's in those word balloons better be really cool. You know, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I think there's one writer that actually gets a pass from me for that, and that's Frank Miller when he's doing Sin City.
Oh yeah, Frank Miller. Oh, dude. Okay, now we're going back to what I was gonna say earlier, because sometimes you say something and I forget what I was gonna say because my brain's weird that way. Luchador, Robert Rodriguez, man. I was talking to this guy at work about that dude today, man. Like, I loved it. I loved his movies, man. Like, I even liked the El Rey Network. I don't know, did you watch the remake of From Dusk Till Dawn, the TV show?
I saw one episode. I didn't really dig it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, they redid. I liked it because what I did like about it is, like, you don't get too much of like the Aztec or Mayan lore in movies, you know, you got a little, like, you just don't get too much of it. So I was just like, all right, cool. And they kind of expanded on that a little bit. And there was more like the vampires, you know, were snakes and stuff like that. But I thought that was kind of cool. I mean, it couldn't hold a candle to the movie. The movie is just classic. One of my favorites, dude.
Yeah, the movie's dope.
Oh, I love it. And then I just remember, like, today we're talking Desperado when that movie came out. I didn't know about El Mariachi. That movie's awesome. But when Desperado came out and I saw that, it was just like next level to me. And then From Dusk Till Dawn, that came out. And, you know, and then later on, I was just like, wow, this is cool. Like one of the best days of my life. I went and seen that movie with my dad and my uncle, and my grandpa. We went and watched it, got some Shakey's pizza. And it was just one of my fond memories. Probably too young to have seen it at that time, but I did, and it was fucking awesome. But as an adult, watching Sin City, dude, and seeing him make Frank Miller's, you know, book come to life, the best comic book adapted movie, in my opinion. What do you think about that?
I loved it. I loved the hammy acting from what's his name, Michael something or other. I can't remember his name. It's gonna bug me the rest of the night too. But he's in a lot of Tarantino movies. But yeah, I love the hammy acting in it, and he got it pretty down pat, you know, for something that was black and white and still images. He was able to really capture that in moving images.
It's weird too, because I like get mad at myself because for some reason, like I mean I know the reason, but I mean I don't get as jazzed for like Sin City 2 as much as I did for the first one. I think it's just because it came out too late, and two, the stories aren't as epic. Like the Hard Goodbye is just so epic. He's dealing with like clergy and, you know, child, you know, fucking killers or prostitute killers or whatever he's doing. You know, he's just like this evil fucker, you know, and he has to go up through like that whole thing. You know what I mean? It's just really epic. And then he, you know, spoilers if you haven't read it or seen it, he dies. You know, so. I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of hard to top that for me, and that to me is the best Sin City story. I'm really looking forward to the Western though coming out.
Yeah, the what's it called? 1894 or something like that.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to that new Sin City book.
Hell yeah, man. I'm definitely gonna pick that up, and it's been nice, dude, going to the LCS. You know, even if I had one like an hour away, I would still do it. Like I would just probably make the trek like once a month. It's just cool because I take my boy down there, you know, and I show him the stuff, you know, and he's really into like Venom and stuff, and Venom and Batman, and there's just like the toys, and I don't know, it's cool, man, you know.
My kid's into Ninja Turtles and very into Pokemon and Mario stuff. I gotta find like some comics about Pokemon and Super Mario for him to get into.
Yeah, Mario's
he's just learning to read, so it'd probably be nice.
It's perfect time. We went and saw Mario. That was like so cool. We went and saw that, and then like the last Puss in Boots. That last Puss in Boots was fire, man. That was like one of the best movies of that year. I don't know if it was last year, I guess. But did you see the last Puss in Boots? I think it was Final Wish or Third Wish or something.
The last Puss in Boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the wolf as death.
Yeah. Did you like it? I knew you'd like it because I kind of know what you like now, I think. Yeah, we saw that in the theater, and that was what was it? Pablo Escobar did the voice from Narcos, of the wolf. He did such a good job.
Yeah, that was very intimidating.
He's talking Xerxes. I didn't see the. I saw the Xerxes series. I didn't pick it up. What did you think of the 300 movie, the sequel to 300, Donald?
Well, I didn't pick up the book or see the movie, but the art looked okay.
Yeah,
I didn't really want to get into the story.
mm-hmm.
It just didn't appeal to me. But I like the original. I like 300. I've got that book. The movie's awesome.
The movie's awesome. Love it. I got the book. It's been a big influence on me as of late for the next book I'm working on, Hell War. The second movie is dope, dude. Like, I hard recommend. I really recommend that. At least watching one time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, dude. And it's cool because it takes place in Potico, because I was into the whole, like, 300, the Battle of Thermopylae with Leonidas and the Spartans. I even did a song about it in one of my old bands, so I was really on it. And it's basically it's the Navy side. So you got the Sparta on land, and then you have the Navy. It's a Navy movie, battle, book, story. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, definitely check it out. You get some cool, like, Frank Miller, like, shit going on the boats, like his type of, like, characters. I don't know how much he was involved in the creation of the characters and that, but it's pretty cool, man. I definitely check it out.
I'll get the book.
I haven't read the book yet, but the movie's cool. I know Xerxes. I haven't had Xerxes. I haven't got Xerxes yet either. I even enjoyed Holy Terror. Oh yeah, a lot of people hate that. I love Holy Terror. I actually enjoy it. I got it for $5. Yeah, it's like frowned upon, like the worst book ever, but I enjoyed it. I like it. I think it's pretty cool.
I loved it, man. It was a completely raw and visceral, very emotional story for him.
Yeah,
you totally get that in the images.
Yeah, you know, and I think that's the thing about art too, man. Like I don't know. I mean, this Frank Miller, he really gets picked on a lot.
Yeah, especially lately.
He's done a lot for our medium, I think. But yeah, I don't know. For me, he's cartoons a lot now. He's more of, like, for me, like, he does a lot more cartooning with his art, you know. Back then, like, he was doing all these genres of art, different styles, you know. And there's just, I don't know, you can track him, and there's a lot to learn from him. Ronin 2 is pretty dope. Donald, I have been reading the new TMNT. It's pretty awesome. The Last Ronin 2. I haven't read The Last Ronin. I do have it, but I plan on doing reviews on it because it's just fun, easy content for the channel. Let's see here. The second movie has nothing to do with any book. Okay, I didn't think so. But yeah, man, I was wondering, man, you've been listening to any new music lately?
No, I've just been bumping some old school hip hop, some 90s stuff.
Cool, like some gangster shit or what? Or hip hop?
Wu-Tang. I go on to Pandora. That's what I'm looking for. That's the word I'm looking for. I go on to Pandora and I put in the Run the Jewels channel, and it plays all sorts of hip hop from the 90s. And when you're Busta Rhymes, Wu-Tang.
There was a video game, dude, that came out with, it was like hip hop's, it was like Def Jam, like it was a fighter game, like Mortal Kombat, where they had all these rappers fighting. I forgot the name. I think it was called like Vengeance or Vendetta. Yeah, that's what it was. Def Jam Vendetta. So they had all these rappers on there, Donald, and you could pick like Busta Rhymes and all these different dudes. And they had Henry Rollins was on there, and he was from Black Flag. He was in there, and so was Danny Trejo. But it was a cool game, dude. I think it's very cartoony and animated the way the characters were. It was very fun. I used to have it. You have to show your face or drink Jaeger, Donald. These are the rules.
Yeah. I'll show you when my camera's off. The lighting.
Yeah, my lighting's kind of whack too, man. I gotta get a better setup, but it's all coming eventually, you know. It's the little steps, you know what I mean? When you're working on your work, man, what do you listen to a lot? Do you listen to movie scores? You listen to like hip hop that you're doing? Like what do you do really as far as music goes?
Lately, like for the last 2 weeks, it's been hip hop, but I alternate between hip hop and heavy metal. Like I'll put on a Metallica channel or something like that.
Yeah, that's fun. Like it's Metal's cool too for like when you're drawing action sometimes, or just I don't know.
Yeah,
It's fun.
you really get into it when you're drawing an action scene. Just bump out some old school Metallica.
Do you ever find it like if you're listening to like a live stream or something, like do you ever get distracted when you're drawing? Does that ever happen to you, or do you ever listen to live streams when you're drawing?
I used to. I found that I tend to just like block them out. I end up ignoring the most of the part.
Mm. Yeah, I find that like when I'm working and I'm listening to a live stream, I kind of get distracted sometimes, and I'm like start listening and like start typing in the chat, and I'm like, fuck, I can't do that. Like, I get distracted, So same thing with like just videos sometimes. Like I like to watch documentaries and things like that. But is there any new movies you've been watching, man? Anything cool?
I just recently watched Sisu. That was dope as hell, man.
Oh, dude, yeah, you like that?
Yeah, that movie was badass. I need more of that.
I know, man. I was telling Sim about that, and he was watching it the other day. I don't know if he liked it or not. Those dudes did a movie called Rare I think it was Rare Exports, where they find like Santa Claus, and he's like this evil like entity. It should be on Tubi, and the main dude, the Sisu guy, he's like the dad in there, and he's got his son, and they have to do. I don't know. It's worth a watch. I guarantee you'll like be like, oh, that was cool, but you'll never watch it again. But it's worth the watch. It's the same directing team. It's cool. And he said check out Polar. I've been hearing about that movie Polar, so love Sisu and check out Polar. And from my understanding, spoilers. So I'm gonna spoil the ending to Sisu. 3, 2, 1. So he goes to the bank. The next movie, allegedly, because this movie's been doing successfully good, they're gonna see what he does with the money. That's like gonna be the second Sisu movie, So I'm like, awesome. I mean, with something like that, you can't do the same thing. You got to go and do something else, right? Like,
right. You gotta step it up. You can't do the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, and
that's kind of what's happened to John Wick.
Yeah, right.
They've managed to keep it cool, but it's getting a little bit tedious.
It's hard, right? Like you have to come up with something new, I don't know. It's almost like you have to start reading different things and feeling like, oh, can he go this way, or maybe go out and get some life experiences from like the writer's standpoint, because it has to stay like in the verse, but yeah, storytelling wise or just character wise or people that come into his world or world wise, it's got to switch it up, and that could be brutal, man, to an IP. I hate saying the word IP. I don't know why. I don't like that word. It feels so like soulless, I have Sisu. Was any other movies that you've seen lately? I gotta ask you, man, because you always put me on some dope shit.
Not too many. My kids usually occupy the TV. I'll get it now and then to watch some wrestling, but those last movies up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, the Super Mario Brothers movie, Across the Spider-Verse. Those are the last movies that I've watched.
I didn't like IPB. No, you're right. I actually don't like India Pale Ales that much. 90% of the beers are IPAs. I kind of get tired of them, to be honest. Like, they're good, but they're better than like Budweiser and Coors and the sugar piss beer. But it gets kind of played out. I like the dark stuff. So yeah, I had to pick your brain on that. I recommend Mandy. Check that out. The movie's awesome. Check Mandy. Out what was the other one? Check out the Northman. That one's pretty popular, but it's fucking dope. And I can't wait for his Nosferatu coming out. And Dread Costume.
I need to watch Nobody.
Nobody's sick. You'll love Nobody. Oh, I thought for sure you watched it already. Like, because I like Better Call Saul, but just seeing him like going there Taken style, like John Wick, and just starts fucking everybody up. And then you watch like the special features, like he's actually getting down. Like, dude, this fucking Simpsons writer, he's like Conan O'Brien, or like fucking kicking ass, like in the training with the fight choreography, like putting in the time, putting in the gains. It was cool seeing him do that. Mad respect. I'm like, dude, I want to see another one, bro. I want to see another Nobody. And I like the name.
I think they're making a sequel.
Fuck yeah! I hope they make a trilogy, dude. Yeah, Sisu, Nobody, Mandy. Have you seen Brawl and Cell Block 99? I think we talked about that last time. With
Which
Vince
one?
Vaughn. Brawl and Cell Block 99, starring Vince Vaughn.
No, I haven't seen that.
Okay, so I recommend that movie above everything. Like, it's like, oh my god, yeah, you will love that movie, Donald. You got to check it out.
Brawl and Cell Block 99.
Yeah, Yeah, dude, you're like, damn, man, Burke, that movie was awesome. You're gonna love it.
Get that down.
And I don't even like Vince Vaughn that much, dude. Like, not really. I mean, he's kind of funny, but dude, that movie's sick. Super Mario was excellent. Yeah, it was, man. It was fun, and it was good to take the kids to see that. You know, and it's not every day you could do that. I want to take them to see Kung Fu Panda 4, so I'm gonna try to make the trip to go see that pretty soon. But man, we were talking Jaeger Bomb, dude. We got to check out your campaign. I actually have it right here, like pulled up in my toolbar. If you like, I can share it, bro. Let's see here. Jaeger Bomb.
Getting close to our goal. 13 days left.
Oh yeah, man. Almost there, bro. Almost there.
It's kind of nerve-wracking.
It is, man. It is. But I know you were doing like an experiment with this book as far as like the marketing and whatnot, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the price point, bro, like it's killer. I think what you're doing is awesome. I think like it's inspiring to me, you know, like how am I going to do that? You know, how am I going to get my book to that price point, you know? And you're putting in all those pages, brother. I wanted to scroll down and just let you guys see the artwork. Love the design.
Yeah, it's $15 for 72 pages, black and white.
Dude.
Book is done and ready to go to print. Just like, need those funds.
That's just like the standard now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think people need to, like, realistically, most people can't do that, but I think it's either got to be done or like 75 to 90% done. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing, but yeah, that's getting to be that way.
It has to be that way. That's just what people want, you know? So, and you're doing it. So, I was going to back this book regardless, like, cause I've known about it for a while. So anybody that's watching this or that's going to watch this or checking it out on the replay, go back this book. I guarantee you, all of the books that I've got by Donald have been fucking a kick-ass adventure, and the art's just killer. We talked about this a little bit, but do you want to give like a quick, maybe one more brief synopsis about Jaeger Bomb? Maybe anything else that we didn't talk about earlier in the show?
Yeah, it's about a guy named Kevin Curran. He's having the worst day of his life, and he decides to enter a wrestling tournament to get a little scratch.
Yeah.
Loses that, finds himself down and out again in front of a bar that happens to have an ancient guardian in it serving drinks. So turns him into the Jaeger Bomb, as you see here.
Oh, I love it, man.
Just in time to help fight the kaiju to save his city.
That's awesome, man. And I love like the art style you're going with. You're you know, there's a couple of chameleons that are out there. You're one of them. You can do a bunch of different styles. I like where you're going with this, like the big upper body and the smaller lower body. It just really like sells it.
That's my aesthetic.
It's fun, you know. Yeah, man. And the mask. I love the kinetic action too. Right here, you're showing a little bit of one of the matches going on, doing a little arm bar.
Yeah, there's a little bit of wrestling in it, and then there's a little bit of kaiju fighting in it. We try to keep it a nice mix, you know.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite kaiju movie?
Godzilla, the original Godzilla.
And are you gonna? I'm not gonna ask you about -1, but I'll ask you anyway. What did you think of it, or did you see it yet?
I haven't seen it yet. I'm waiting for it to come to streaming so I can watch it on my TV at home because I'm not into going to movie theaters anymore. You know, with the people just strangers sitting next to me rustling their candy while I'm trying to watch a movie. Plus, trying to find time to go out to a movie when you have kids is a little tough. So I'm just gonna wait for it to get home, get on streaming, watch it on my 70-inch 4K TV.
Yeah, it's always nice, right? I haven't seen it yet either, man. Everyone's like, yeah, tear-jerking, Oscar contender worthy film. But I want to, you know, I loved I love Kong versus Godzilla, man. That was like a fun treat for me for a bunch of different reasons. Thought it was metal as fuck. So are you down to check out the new sequel to that, part 2 or whatever? Or are you like, nah, hard pass?
I'm probably gonna check out the sequel again when it comes to streaming. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been liking those films.
Yeah, they're fun, dude. The brutal fights, like, I don't know, it's really cool. It's funny too because like kaiju's, it's just like its own genre, you know. I don't know if you've ever seen. I think it's like War of the Gargantuan or Battle of the Gargantuans. It's this crazy like Japanese horror film where it's kind of like Frankenstein, like these big Frankenstein-esque looking kaiju's that they're twins and they're just ugly as hell and they're fighting each other. And man, just this massive sets that they build, bro. Like they'll have a whole lake in there and it's so far out. Like how big is the studio? And they just build these things and like let these guys in suits just go to town and kick each other's ass, you know? As a kid, I just thought it was so stupid. I hated it. I hated Power Rangers, you know? It's like, dude, that's just a guy in a suit. But as I grew older, I don't know, I kind of like developed a liking for it, you know, and just admire it, you know? It's like
you start to appreciate it.
Yeah, very charming. Same thing with older films, things of that nature, just like the craftsmanship that goes into it, you know, and even to see it now, like people get in there and just destroy stuff. And it's just, I don't know. It's really cool. I'm really digging it, bro. Yeah. And, this is the main kaiju in here. Does he have a name?
No name. Not yet.
The kaiju with no name. Love it, man. I love what you're doing too with the black and whites. How you're doing the color holds. The art is killer.
Thank you. Yeah, it started off in color, but for budgetary reasons and for speed reasons, we decided to make it black and white.
Yeah, no, black and white's I think where it's at. I mean, I like color too, but like for me, I'm only doing black and white for the next like books that I'm doing, man. Like I don't know, it's so cool. And like you know, mangas in black and white, a lot of people dig that, you know. Me, like horror, you know, detective books, noir, fantasy, barbarian shit. It just I don't know, it looks cool, man. I've been
digging a lot of black and white books lately.
I think the main thing is just like is doing what you're doing right here, like separating everything with the colors, you know, the midground, the foreground, the background, telling the story. You just nail it, dude. Once you start reading it, I know my brain just kind of populates colors, like, I don't know, subconsciously when I'm reading it. So it's pretty cool, man.
Thank you.
Do you have plans to do a follow-up to this, or is this just
I have 2 more books planned.
So a trilogy, kind of.
Yeah, book 2 is being worked on right now. This is the writing part of it is being worked on right now.
Is this going to be? I mean, I haven't read up at the top because I just backed it. Is this just standard size comic book?
Yep, regular size comic book. If it's a fixed goal of 5,000.
Would you ever entertain the notion of turning this into a manga-sized comic and manga-sized format being read backwards?
If I did something longer, like 120 pages or 200 pages, I would definitely do it at a manga size. I don't know if it would be the same format as, you know, as a manga, you know, reading it from right to reading it from right to left, because I'm printing it for Americans, but I do like that size.
Yeah, it's cool, and it's you know, it's a little it's a little less expensive too, because it's half the paper and half the color. And it's, you know, easy to stock it on the shelf, and, you know, you just stick that puppy right there next to some manga. You know, a kid or, you know, avid manga reader might pick it up and say, "Oh, what the hell is this?" Like, oh, it's back. Oh, it's sold American style. Oh, this is cool. Oh, let me get 3 of them. You know. Oh, it's
I don't know, man. When I collect all 3 of the JAEGER BOMB books, I'll probably have it at that size, but individually, they're most likely going to be 72 pages, and it feels weird having having the book that small at that kind of page length.
Yeah, like I know Joe Ball is doing it with Death. I think that's a great idea. Like I would totally do it with my stuff if it kind of lent itself to that, or I don't know. I just think it's cool. I remember the first manga I have, really the only one I have is Berserk, and I don't know. I think it's cool. And a lot of people, you know, manga, they are comic books. I'm not gonna. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, they were into American comics. That's what inspired them to make manga. Growing up. And I just think it's a market, just like the French have their style of stuff too. That's more boutique, and they have a bunch. Like their stuff is just like a cornucopia. It's like a buffet. The way that they set up and publish their stuff. But I'm just really like thrilled and like excited for the different ways you could print your book and present it, and the different markets that'll probably pick it up if it's put together a certain way and packaged a certain way.
I've seen some people say they won't pick up a book that's not standard comic book size, like even if it's oversized, like the old magazine size of comic books, they wouldn't pick it up. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. I've had someone tell me that too. I'm like, whoa, really? And they're like, yeah, it just kind of sticks out of the set, like you have it like on the wall, and then it kind of weird, like sticks out kind of funky. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of get what you're saying, but it's like at the same time, like yeah, see, I won't get no backwards book. Yeah, so like for me, like in a perfect scenario, I'd like to have all my my graphic novels on a bookshelf, and then if they're like magazine, I'd have a big fucking coffee table in my man cave, and I would have just like big like BD and magazine size stuff like nicely put out on a coffee table for fools to come over and they want to take a rip, drink a beer, have a shot, it's all right there, ready to go, just because I think it probably would fit better on the table like that rather than on the shelf. I mean, some of them do. I mean, like you got like your 300s and your Holy Terrors, they kind of stick out a little bit, but I don't know. For me, it doesn't bother me, but I understand like some people do. I know some comic book shop owners, it's kind of annoying for them too. They're saying, but that new Conan book, Savage Tales of Conan, I did a review on that, and I'm picking that up. It's coming out every other month, and that one is magazine size, and it's black and white. So I was like, kudos to them, man, for keeping it gangster like the old ones. $7. You got a few different stories in there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, saw it.
But
wasn't a fan of it.
You wasn't a fan of it?
No, the it's hard to explain, but the way, huh?
The artwork?
Yeah, not so much the artwork, but like it looks like they colored it and then turned it black and white.
Yeah, definitely that first story. Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, damn, because I just wanted more of like a Buscema look, you know what I mean? Like just like black and white, like this even, So hopefully, I mean, I thought the story was kind of cool. One dude was pointing out too that like he got saved by like a chick like 4 times, and Conan, I just wouldn't have. That's just a little too many times. But yeah, like I hope that they switch it up. I do like the format, and they got like that dude that draws the main book, just regular Conan, the first 4 issues, man. He was like Buscema. Del Torre, I think is his name. That style.
Del Torre.
Love that dude's style, and then like even like Capullo style or someone drawn like that. Like I think that would be perfect for that. But
he's perfect for that book.
We'll see what happens though, dude. Like because I'm doing reviews on them. They're all out. They're up to like issue number 8, but I slept on it. I didn't pick any of them up at the time, and now I'm like going back. I'm gonna like do a review of them, and hopefully it just it stays okay. But yeah, man. So you got 3 of these. 3 of these you're planning on making a trilogy. I kind of wanted to go over these tiers real quick so you guys could check these out. So you have the Jaeger Bomb Digital, which is awesome for $5 bones. Anybody around the world could pick this up. They don't want to have to deal with the shipping. They just want to, read an awesome book. That's a killer price, Donald.
Thank you. And I tried to keep everything affordable.
You got 20 heads on there. You got the graphic novel, 114. That's awesome, but it'd be cool to get like 1,000 people on there, because I know there's 1,000 of you out there.
That'd be nice.
Oh yeah, dude. There's so many people like in our bubble that don't back everything. That so you have to keep putting your stuff out there, or they forget to, or someone else might. Dude, another campaign might come out and they're only doing like maybe 30 days, and so like, well, I'm gonna get this guy's book because I know I've done that. I'll be about to buy a book and then some dude will come in and he only has like a 30-day, and I'm like, oh well, I get this one because this dude's going in demand, So it's it's easy to forget. So you got to kind of just keep reminding people.
Yeah, it's like this one. This one's not going in demand. It's 30 days and that's it.
Oh shit! You hear that, everybody? This one's not going in demand. So if there's another book you're gonna get that you know it's gonna be around for like a while or like a year, you know, get in there and back Jaeger Bomb.
Yeah, no extension. If it
it
gets close to it, I might give it an extension. If it gets real close to funding in the last last 2-3 days, I might give it another 10-20 days. But I'm pretty set on having this be a 30-day campaign.
Oh, that's smart, man. No, that's the way. That's the way to do it. And you can get 2 Jaeger bombs for $30. That's a good deal. You could have a reader, and then one that you could keep in your frame or your plastic top loader, or you could give one as a gift. You know, you could you guys want to go half on it. You know, boom, boom, save on the shipping.
Share it around.
Country, there's a multitude of things you can do with two novels. If you got a comic book shop, you know, boom, get that. You got original art up on here?
Yeah, 2 pages of original art.
Oh man, that's sweet.
And the rest of the book is drawn digitally, so the original art is really rare.
Oh man, love that, dude. You got him flexing right there. That is cool. I wonder if I can open this up in a. I think you have the picture up here, huh, on the campaign?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is on sale. Man, that would be so cool to have in a frame, like just up on the wall. Yeah, man. Get in here and get this art, everybody. If there's any art collectors out there, which I know there is, get a Donald DeLay piece, man. Jaeger Bomb. Come and check it out. And then you got this piece right here, too. Dude's flexing.
Yeah, covered in monster guts.
Oh, really? Yeah, man. I was really digging the Brutus book that you put out, too, man. Some crazy storytelling in there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun to work on.
Yeah, I could tell you were having some fun in there. So everybody come and check out Jaeger Bomb. He's only got, a few more days left on the campaign. And 13 days left. And you're just almost there, like another 1,500 and or 1,400 or so. And that's it. You guys are there. And that'll be that. Get in there. You been sipping on any new drinks lately, man?
No, I need to cut back on the soda.
Oh yeah. Well, for me, like I stopped drinking soda, but like, dude, if I'm gonna eat out, oh man, it's hard not to have like a soda, especially for like Mexican, Italian, or American food, man. Like it just the acid in like a Coke or like a Pepsi, they kind of go hand in hand, you know.
Yeah, it's like you have a pizza, you gotta have a Pepsi.
Totally, dude. Beer or even beer too. But Pepsi just kind of, I don't know, man. Like Taco Bell, man. Like they their drive-through, or at least like their Pepsi that they had, was the best back in the day. Like I remember just going there to the drive-through. Like my mom would be like, "Hey, I'm gonna go get a Pepsi from Taco Bell." I'm like, "What?" Like, okay, but it was the fire, man. I don't know. It's a hard thing to kick though. But I started I started kicking it. I'm also moving on to like most of the time. Like tonight I had an energy drink, but most days of the week I'm doing like 3 cups of coffee. So I'll do one at like 5, and I'm trying to just measure it like at a straight cup, you know. So I'll do one at like 5 a.m. I'll have another 1 cup at about 1 or 2 p.m. and then I'll have another 1 cup at 6 p.m. because I just to get me through my day, you know. So yeah, it's tough, man. But you draw comics, you do it full time. They're long days, dude. So it's like it's hard to just have energy, like not have caffeine doing it, you know.
For sure.
I can only imagine, you know. Like for me, it's like I got like 3 to 4 hours a day to work on it. You know what I mean? And it's it's hard, man. And sometimes you'll be sitting in the chair and trying to stay awake, you just fall asleep.
Yeah, your eyes get focused on that one thing, and then they start getting a little heavy, a little heavy, a little heavy.
Yeah,
and they just want to close.
You just wake up, you're like, oh man, what happened? Are you working on what's your next project, bro? Like after this, do you have anything in the pipeline? Anything coming that you could talk about, or no?
Yeah, I've got a couple things. I'm working on another free mini comic that I'm going to be putting out.
Oh, sick.
It's going to be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles mini comic.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, just to have a little bit of fun in between projects. Cool. And then I'm working with Sierra Whiskey on another joint.
Oh,
about Mad Jack Churchill.
Yeah, was that William Churchill, right?
Yep.
That's cool.
Mad Jack Churchill went to storm the beaches of Normandy with a sword and bagpipes, capturing 60 Nazis.
He's a
badass. He's a badass. But we're cooking up something fun with that book. And I'm also working on a book with my daughter. She's 9 years old. She's writing a zombie apocalypse story. I work on that once a week.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Like I'd like to do that as well. You know, a lot of those books, dude, like those you know, like if you go into Barnes and Noble, the kids books, they're like comic books. They're basically comic books, but they're small, like little books. You know, they're sequential art. You know, there's a lot of them. It's like, damn, you know, a lot of the kids are reading those because for whatever reason. You know, I've heard people talk about that a lot. You know, but not that much. You know what I mean? Like imagine if there was like kid friendly like indie books or something in that section. You know what I mean? That were dope. You know what I mean? But not like too crazy. I don't know. It's like it would be like a hard thing, hard line to kind of walk over. But like I don't know. At the same time, I love scary stories to tell in the dark. Like I've been meaning to pick up that trilogy. Did you ever read those growing up?
No.
Dude, check out the artwork in there, man. It's all black and white. So sick.
Yeah, it's been recommended to me. I got one of those books from my daughter.
I had to they were banned back in the day. But just the art in there, man, like it really just that one image sells the story. We don't do it that much. I know Mike Murphy, I think he's the only one like in our bubble. He was doing his book Long Shadow. It's an orc detective. It's coming out pretty soon, I think. And it's a pulp. So like you have that one image for the chapter or two images for chapter, and that you have to nail that image. It's almost like a cover per chapter, dude. You know what I mean? Like this one image has to sell that, you know. And I'm reading that with the Solomon Kane, like the Savage Tales of Solomon Kane, and there's just something about that. You really have to fill in all of that in between stuff in your head. It's kind of cool in a way, you know. Like you get this really solid, iconic piece. I love it, man. I really do. I think it's really cool. It's like a comic, but not really because it's a pulp. But I don't know. It would be kind of cool to see a little bit more of those. I'd be down to check that out. I think you could do a lot too with just like one image. It doesn't always have to be like a cover, you know, with just the main pose, you know. I don't know. Covers are weird though, man. They're really weird with having to tell all that information in one image, you know.
It can be rough. Come up with an idea for one.
Yeah. Do you spend a lot of time on composition when you're setting up a cover?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's gotta be clear and it's gotta be appealing. And it's a tough thing to do. It's also gotta tell a story.
That one picture, huh? Yeah.
Got one picture to tell 1,000 words.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people talk shit on it too in a way, which I think it's understandable to like the sequential art is harder, but it's also at the same time that one image has to sell the book, you know what I mean? Especially if it's not like a, I don't know, like a I don't know, one of those like porn books or whatever, you know what I mean? If it's like a regular book, you know what I mean? It has to really be cool, dude, you know, and if the second book has a cool cover that, you know, if the art's not good inside and the story isn't that good, they might not come back, you know, or they might.
Right.
For those types of books, man, you really got to have like good composition. You have to sell the cover, and then also the middle. Basically what I'm saying is the cover's got to be good too, and it's hard. It's hard to have a good cover, man.
Yeah,
because that's what sells the book, you know.
That's right.
And the color. It's its own art form. I could see why some people just do that. I wanted to ask you. I don't think we touched base on it like many months ago, but what's your stance on AI art?
I'm not for it, but I can see it being useful in the future when it stops scraping other artists, when it stops stealing from other artists in order to produce the image that it produces.
Yeah.
And eventually I think it'll get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
But and then I might think differently about it, but as of right now I'm not a fan of it, but I can see its usefulness as far as brainstorming sort of ideas and things like that.
Yeah, it's for me. It's like it's like godlike in some ways, as far as like coming up with like characters. You know what I mean? Like it spits out some next level shit. You know what I mean? I don't ever use it, but it's fucking I can see how it's awesome. But I mean, I'm like a hard like fuck AI art, but I know how good it looks and how awesome it is and how it could come up with these cool character designs and how I could like use it. But it's just, dude, I gotta put a firm fuck no on it. You know what I mean? like it's just no to Skynet. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm there right now. I'm a hard fuck AI right now. But like I said, when it stops scraping other artists, when it stops stealing from other creators in order to produce their images, then I'll give it another thought.
Then you'll like entertain the idea of it, maybe.
I'll entertain the idea that it can be useful for people who don't have artistic talent and things like that.
Oh yeah, no, AI is just it's crazy. Like how smart it is, even like for writing. Like the whole writers, like what is it, strike or whatnot. Because it's I heard there was like writing stuff like, better than the stuff that's coming out of the mainstream, which isn't hard to do because a lot of it's just got that I don't know run of the mill jazz. So
Japan's already like jumping all over AI.
Really,
their artists have said that if it can help speed them up, they'll use it. And there was, like I said earlier, there was a book that was put out, a manga that was put out that was all AI called Cyberpunk John Peach or Cyberpunk Peach John.
Damn.
And it's 100% AI. It looks good.
Yeah.
But, it's AI. So you just want to be like, fuck that book.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, man. Christopher John, how do you feel about 3D assets, Donald?
Use them for reference. Don't trace them.
Yeah, I can
Don't
see
drop
that.
them into your book.
Like sometimes it's like, dude, there's like this. Like I can never get the perspectives of things that I'm specifically looking for. Sometimes even for like a weapon or like clothing or things like that, and then the character in that dope camera, that angle that I have in my head, So I could see why people do that. I know like Jason Fabok made like the whole Batcave, I think he said, in some interviews and things like that, just so he could draw every angle of it, like to look at it. Because basically you're just taking pictures and you're just trying to get that, or it's just like a camera like inside of a world that you're trying to get. I could see in that point, you look at it and then you draw it, that's okay. I'm okay with that. But as far as like 3D assets of like just tracing it, I'm not a real big fan of that personally. That's not what I would do. I don't know.
Ends up looking stiff and it doesn't look like your art.
Yeah, exactly. So like for me, I think it's more, I don't know. I guess if there's a way to take pictures in there, you know what I mean? Yeah, and I don't have someone like photographing me or, all the time. There's these people that pose on Twitter, like a couple that have these poses, and they have I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but they do all the different poses and yeah, it's a little,
yeah, I've seen that.
It's pretty cool. Brian was saying AI will never make good art, but it can sure as shit write you a Marvel movie. Damn. Zorro snap. Let's see here. Yo, Christopher John. Sweet, man. Well, thanks for coming on, brother. It was fun.
Thanks for having me.
Fun talking with you again. I'd love to have you on again in the near future. Talk about some of your new stuff. Pick your ear. Yeah, man. How are you feeling about how was it doing those traditional pages? It's pretty fun.
It can get fun, but it's tedious as hell because I'm a lot faster digitally because I can just pull a stroke and then undo it if I don't like it, pull that
Yeah.
stroke again. On
Yeah.
paper, I got to be very careful to make sure that I don't mess it up. And I know there's whiteout out there, and that I can fix the mistakes. But if I did that if I did the same thing that I do in digital art with traditional art, I'd end up with a big thick piece of white paint all over my page.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally, man. Yeah, like I wouldn't mind doing digital. I like for me, like the idea of getting a lot of pages done. You know what I mean? Like for me, I'm like thinking like, do I want to have a lot of physical like art, or do I want to have a body of work? Like that's starting to be the question I'm asking myself. And I think I can have more of a body of work if I eventually jump to digital and start pumping out some books, man. Doesn't mean my art's going to be any better or any worse, but I want to tell a lot of stories, and my time on this earth is limited. That's the way I don't know.
Right.
That's the way I see it, dude. So
for me, it's more of a money issue. It's like, does the cost of all the material that I have to get outweigh the cost of let's say a commission or selling original art? But because I'm not there yet as far as like fan base goes, the appeal of my original art, it doesn't balance out well enough for me to justify buying all like the paper and the ink and all that stuff in order to do physical art.
Yeah, I mean that stuff does add up, dude. You know what I mean? The cost of materials is also to be considered. Like those little Pentel brush pens, you know what I mean? They're like $10 a pop. Like you could go through like those pretty quick, and like they're awesome. I love them. Like for me, it's really helped me with my art. But it's like those can add up, dude. You can go through like 2 pens in a drawing or two, or 3, depending on how much you use. But with traditional, you can't zoom in at 400%. I like both though. Yeah. Dude, Donald,
I've gotten on that trap before.
They have this new, like, I don't know if it's, I forgot. It's on like, I don't know if it was on TikTok or what, but like they have this account where like they make this art where you just keep zooming in and zooming in and zooming in, and it takes you to different worlds and shit. I don't know if you see that. Like,
I've seen that. They do that. They're doing that on like iPads and shit.
It's pretty dope. I mean,
yeah, it's pretty rad.
I think it's cool for like for telling a story. I think you could do some pretty cool stuff with that. And then there's also someone that's like, I don't know if they're doing with AI, but they're making like panels that you could go into like in the sequential storytelling. Like you could go into the world of one panel and just kind of look around, and like the leaves are blowing and the sky's moving around, So each panel is interactive for a digital reading experience, which I think is cool. But I don't know if I really want all that information. Like, I don't know. I guess it could be cool. But let's see here.
When I saw all that, I immediately thought of Scott McCloud, who used to talk about the infinite canvas.
Let's keep going.
He said eventually there's going to be a point with digital art where it's just going to be one long canvas that never ends.
Yeah, totally, dude. That's basically what it is, right?
Let's
see, Sim, I love penciling, so I decided from now on I'm probably going to do my covers in pencils. Yeah, that's brilliant. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's worth it to do like covers or some splashy pages.
Yeah, maybe like
you can sell them on a campaign or something like that.
I did a few Natverse number 2. Yeah, that's cool. Christopher John, 13-inch iPad is all the assistance that I need.
Yep.
I also think that like sketch cards are really cool too. Like a lot of people like those. You ever thought about putting those up on your campaign?
Thought about it, but I tried drawing on a sketch card and it was a pain in the ass.
It's its own like skill set, I've noticed, because I just started doing them like over the last month or two, or no, a few months. But yeah, it's crazy.
But for me, I'm so used to drawing so big that I can't draw that small anymore.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Like you're like, fuck. Let's see here. Sim, that said, if someone really wants the original art page, I can redraw for him one shot only. Yeah, no,
I've done that.
Yeah, and I was saying too, like, say if you got like some say if you do like a trading card of like Jaeger Bomb or the Kaiju, like say you draw that original art for that trading card, you could sell that on the campaign. I did that before. It's pretty cool. Let's see here. I use the Galaxy Tab 29 Ultra. It is a bit cheaper than Apple, but damn, freaking awesome. Hell yeah. Well, thanks again, Donald. We've been going for about an hour or so. It's always good chatting with you, man. Thanks for coming on. Again, you know, whenever you want, man. I do live streams on Saturday night now. I'm gonna start. I normally do them on Saturdays at midnight. Now I'm gonna start doing them at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Just Metal Movies and Brewskis live, talking about metal, monsters, movies, comics, all that shit. Just fun shit. So you could you know, catch me on there if you want to come on there and shoot the shit. You're always more than welcome. Just let me know. Yeah, man. Thanks everybody for watching. You too, Jim Cox. Jim Cox is a man, dude. Thanks for stopping by. You too, Sim and Christopher, John and Brian and everybody else. Thanks for stopping by. Donald, where can people find you, brother?
They can find me on Twitter at that.
Point to this.
Yeah, they can find me on Twitter right there.
Right over there. Sweet, man. Well, you guys, again, go back Jaeger Bomb, guys, and take a Jaeger Bomb shot, you know, while you're doing it. And thanks to everybody for watching. Always remember to be bold, be brave, and roll the bones to know your role. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. I awaken from my own cocoon inside of